Well, first of all, I just want to thank everyone so much for the opportunity to be here today. It is truly wonderful to be able to speak with a group of people that I admire and respect so much. Perhaps no one more so than Senator Jauch. Senator Jauch has been a champion for our university system and for education throughout his whole career. And in the most recent years when Governor Walker was really attacking our university system, he was the senator that I would look to say, what do we need to do for the university system and what can we do moving forward? And he was the one that always had the answers. So I want to thank Senator Jauch for a very distinguished career, especially for what he's done for education. I'd also like to thank the Chequamegon Democratic Party, because the Chequamegon Democratic Party is my roots in political work. Some of you may remember me as a young teenager volunteering on a number of campaigns, including local campaigns, including Governor Doyle's run for office, and most notably working in the Ashland office for President Barack Obama's election in 2008. And I'm very glad to say that it was a wonderful experience being part of helping Barack Obama get elected president after growing up living under President Bush. It's not fun to be a child and grow up with the president being President Bush, and it really gives you a backbone, because you grow up thinking, you know what, people need to pay attention and get involved. We can't have that happen again. We really can't afford to. It's also been disheartening going to college under a governor like Governor Scott Walker, because Governor Scott Walker has not been interested in supporting people like me who have gone to UW-Superior, who have taken advantage of an affordable college education, and who are relying on having a university system in order to get an education and become part of the workforce. Governor Walker has been trying to dismantle that university system all the while that I was there. And I'm proud to say that I'm a graduate of UW-Superior. It's a wonderful college. I got my degree in biology and another degree in broadfield science. I was also student body president there for 2 years, and I served in the student government for 4 years. And I learned a lot while I was in student government, because I had to serve as a voice for people who could not speak for themselves. Our faculty at UW-Superior are some of the most underpaid in the whole. They're actually the most underpaid in the 4-year UW system schools. And they cannot go down to government, they cannot go down to Madison and say what they feel about what's really happening. So as students in the university system, we went down there and said it for them. We went down and we lobbied our government on behalf of our university system, because we need to stand up for it before it's too late. I also want to talk a little bit about K through 12 education. As I said, I received my degree in biology. I was hoping to be an educator, a biology teacher here in our community. After Act 10, that wasn't a reality. That wasn't even a possibility for me. So I continued to work on education with the realization that I would someday have to go to another state and practice as a teacher. And over time, that became an unacceptable reality. I didn't feel like I could leave the great state of Wisconsin and the community that I'm from. I'm going to back up just a little bit. I'm from Mason, Wisconsin, which is a small, mostly farming community, very rural. But it is a community that has very strong values. My parents decided to move there in 1977, correct me if I'm wrong. In 1977, they bought property, they built a house, and they decided to start a life in northern Wisconsin because they love it here. And they've instilled that value in me of having great pride in our community and in the ability of our community to work hard for the people. Everyone in this community supports each other. That's what a small community is all about. My father worked as an RN in Park Falls and in Ashland for about 25 years. He graduated from this university and then later decided to become an RN, and he worked in the hospitals serving the people of our community. And I'm very proud of the work that he's done. Excuse me. I just wanted to say that healthcare right now is an issue that's affecting this community. And coming from a family of healthcare providers, I think that it's very important that we address this issue, and we need to address it right now. After my father retired from being an RN, My family was uninsured for a number of years because people who retired in Wisconsin from being an RN or being a healthcare provider may not be able to afford their insurance, but President Barack Obama has done something about that. And so for this year, for the first time since I was 16, I am proud to say that I have health insurance again. And that's a really good feeling. But Wisconsin hasn't finished the job. Governor Walker has refused to create a state marketplace, and he's refusing Wisconsin family savings. We could be saving up to 40% more on plans in a state marketplace than we save on the federal marketplace. And my partner from Minnesota, Kara Schmidt, she only pays $15 a month for her healthcare coverage because she's a Minnesota resident. We pay a lot more than that in Wisconsin. Young people pay a lot more than that. Families pay a lot more than that. So that's going to be something we need to get done in the future. We also need to be working on building infrastructure in northern Wisconsin. I had the opportunity at Superior Days about 3 years ago to get up in a committee meeting and speak a little bit about the need to bring rural broadband to our area. We need better access to internet, and that's because of small business. We need to be supporting our small businesses, and I think that it is imperative that we support small businesses with good infrastructure. The access to internet, the access to roads, those are going to be very important things moving forward. I also want to speak just a little bit on the issue of our environment. I hadn't imagined when I was speaking against SB 1 that I would someday be running for, well, not someday, but that I would be running for state assembly right now. So when I was speaking against SB 1, I had the same feelings that I have today, that we need to be responsible stewards of our environment. We need to make sure that we protect our water, protect our air, and protect our natural resources. And our community cannot afford to let a mine go forward without having had input in it. We need the time to do the study, we need the time to do the work, and I honestly do not feel like that mine would be feasible under good mining law. So I will be supporting our local tribes in upholding their treaty rights and saying that we cannot afford to have a mine in northern Wisconsin by allowing the government to listen to the mining company to write the laws. We cannot allow a mining company to write the laws. We need to look at what Minnesota has done and make sure that we amend our laws until they are responsible. I do have to finish on a positive note, though. I want to say that it's a great time to be a Democrat. I've been inspired by the work of great Democrats that have come before me, including our courageous Representative Janet Bewley, including, as I said, Senator Jouk. I'm also inspired by the election of wonderful leaders in the national level, like Senator Tammy Baldwin, and we have to remember, we more recently elected Barack Obama and Tammy Baldwin than we re-elected Scott Walker, and that's what we need to be focusing on. Republicans thrive on dividing our state. They thrive on dividing students. They thrive on dividing us on issues like labor, issues like education, issues like business, pitting small businesses versus large business, and pitting family farms versus Wall Street. But Democrats are wonderful because we unite people. We bring people together, and we, as a community, have to be leading the rest of this state, because this community is probably one of the smartest communities in the whole state. We have to be leading the rest of the state on the charge to elect Democrats all across Wisconsin. And I am confident that Governor Burke will make a great leader for the legislature. I'm confident that Janet Bewley will be a great senator for us in the Senate. And I'm confident she will be working in the Democratic majority. As people who have worked with me know, in student government as student body president, I was not a patient leader. I do not have a great deal of patience for a lack of work getting done. And so I'm going to be optimistic and say that we need to take the assembly back sooner rather than later. And I know it's not realistic to assume that it's going to happen in this election, but what I will say is if you elect me your representative, I will be working all over the state of Wisconsin to promote younger people and enlighten people to run for state assembly, and I will be encouraging people of all generations to get out and vote. Because we need to come together, and I'm going to ask every one of you here today, because it's not just about running for office, It's about everyone who votes in the community. You need to find 10 of your friends, 20 of your friends, everyone you know, and you need to drag them to the polls on August 12th, on November 4th, and you need to ask them to be part of a movement to take Wisconsin back for the Democratic Party, because we are a blue state. We did elect Barack Obama, and with the help of everyone in this community and the support, by supporting each other, we can make Wisconsin entirely blue again, and we can take that assembly back sooner rather than later. So my campaign will be focusing on what Wisconsin needs to be doing, because if we look at Minnesota, they've made some very good decisions all across the board. And Wisconsin is a state of really smart people. Sometimes we make really bad Governor Walker decisions. But if we're paying attention and we're all listening, no one can buy our vote. No one can buy our vote ever. So we need to get out there and we need to demand a new direction for Wisconsin. That's why my campaign slogan is, let's make a new deal Wisconsin, because it's not just about me, it's about the whole assembly, it's about the whole legislature and the governorship. We're going to take Wisconsin back for the Democrats, and I hope that someday kids my age or people who are young adults don't have to live under a governor like Governor Walker and see a government that isn't working for them. I hope that future graduates of UW Superior see a governor who is working for the people and a legislature that is working for the people. So we're going to take this state back. Thank you so much.